on Casino Royale with cheese.
What else was there? Oh, this was directed by a woman named Betty Thomas. She did John Tucker Must Die, Alvin and Chipmunks The Squeakquel.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, that one's the good one. That's like the Empire Strikes Back of the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. So.
Absolutely.
This is actually based off of a book series, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to find the dude's name real quick. What was it? Something.
Fans love dead air.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. This is good times here.
You tuned in to listen to Dr. Doolittle, and you got a small talk about Scientology and some dead air.
Right. And Mike's favorite Eddie Murphy movie that he can't name.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent Breed is people!
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
Woman with large breasts. Woman with medium breasts.
Welcome back to Casino Royale with Cheese. This is episode number 24 of the show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane. With me today, I am joined by the man who could stay awake just to hear me breathing. This is Mike.
Oh, that's the most factual one you've ever done.
Right? No, that's autobiographical.
Except for, I can't go to sleep because you're breathing.
It's usually snoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't put on my CPAP mask and all this stuff.
Episode 24, huh?
Yeah, we're rocking it, dude.
Is that 6 months?
Yeah, exactly. I think.
Wow.
Right on to it.
Yeah, 6 months worth of weeks.
Right, exactly. If that makes sense. Yeah, we're almost a quarter of the way to the triple digits, man. Where does the time go?
I don't know. It's having fun.
Yeah, that's it, man. How's it going today?
Pretty chill. This morning we got up early. I say me. I got up early. And my company, we went and played softball.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized I'm getting old. I fucking pulled my neck.
Oh, no.
My right elbow, my throwing arm is killing me. I pulled a hamstring like in batting practice. It's not good, bro.
No. I sneezed too hard and broke a wrist.
Yeah. I sat out an inning. Pretended like I was letting a bench player get some time.
Right? One time I farted and my spleen fell out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty rough.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad right there.
We had a pretty crazy week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
Oklahoma voted yes to question 788, the legalization of medical marijuana.
Medical weed.
Becoming the 30th state in the union to do so.
We're the 30th at something, finally.
Oklahoma
right.
legalized medical marijuana.
So think about this, Mike. We have medical marijuana. Here in October, we're getting 6 Point beer. We're screaming into the new millennium. Dude.
Last year, was it last year or was it 2 years ago, they recognized equal rights for same-sex marriage? Mm-hmm. Oklahoma, doing it big.
Yeah. So that's...
the heart of the Bible Belt.
It's pretty different, you know? It's kind of funny because I know a lot of people felt, pretty... objectionable, I guess, about the medical marijuana thing, and I'm always like, I don't really care.
Those people are called ignorant.
Well, it's supposed to be a free country, I say do whatever you want as long as you don't annoy me, you know. So,
Yeah.
if you don't want to smoke weed, don't smoke the weed, you know.
I'm
That's all
proud
there
of you,
is to it.
Oklahoma. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But aside from that, I guess things are good.
Same old, same old.
Yeah.
How's Big Willie?
Oh, he's big. Willie. No, he's good, man. He spits up a lot. But, you know,
That's babies.
par for the course.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Right. Other than that, not too much going on, really. Last week we talked about Dr. Doolittle.
We did.
I had to go back and re-listen to that episode just to, like, remind myself that we even talked about it because I didn't care that much.
I didn't listen to it.
I don't blame you.
Even there's a couple of my guys in the office that do their best to keep up with the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I posted that one, actually, so I didn't post until Wednesday.
Yeah,
this
you were
week.
late.
Yeah. And I completely forgot due to just work circumstances in life. But one of the guys who does it, he's the one in the office that really tries to make sure he listens to every episode.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "So what are you dropping today?" And it was like
Crap.
late Tuesday.
All right.
And I was like, Dr. Doolittle. And he was like, oh.
That's how so I go on to, whenever I find these movies, I go on to, what's it? Box Office Mojo is the website that I go to look up what's coming up next or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so sure enough, I look and it's Dr. Doolittle, and I just like all the joy in my life just collapsed, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's going on today?
What are we talking about today?
Yeah.
We're talking about motherfucking Armageddon.
Motherfucking Armageddon.
I've been waiting for this for 8 weeks.
I know you have.
We talked, for those of you who listen regularly, we talked about Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
On episode 16, so
Yes.
8 episodes ago. And we were
fighting not to talk about this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We really wanted to start doing a bunch of comparisons, but we had decided that we'd wait until we had watched both shows.
Right. Now that having watched Armageddon again, I don't really see myself doing that much in the way of comparisons, sadly.
There's a few.
There are a few. And there's some that this does better and some that it does worse, I think. But, we'll get to that whenever. Let's see here. Why don't you tell me about your experience with Armageddon?
Okay, so I do not remember the first time I watched Armageddon.
Okay.
But I think it was in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a lot of my stories are when I was a young Marine, because that's where I was 20 years ago.
All right.
And I was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I was there for training. And I had a roommate. And I remember this guy, he was from German Pennsylvania. And the reason I know that is because he literally...
Germantown or whatever?
He literally ate, sauerkraut out of a jar, all the time. Like that was his fucking jam.
It's pretty gross, dude.
For me, I didn't like it too much. But we had a few VHS tapes to age ourselves a little bit. And the one that we kept in the VCR was Armageddon.
Arma-fucking-geddon.
And we watched it, if not every day, pretty close to, for about 5 months.
Yeah.
So I've seen this movie a lot of times.
A lot. Huh. I'm pretty sure my dad still has the VHS, actually, for this. Me and my wife were just talking about the other day, or it was earlier today, actually, that we were going through, and I was like, man, I could go for, watching a Tarantino. She's like, I could go for watching a comedy, like This Is 40, or one of those Judd Apatow things. She's like, maybe, the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I was like, I like the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I said, but the funny thing about it is that since it's based in an electronics store, it ages that movie horribly. You know?
Oh, right.
At one point he's trying to sell this woman a VHS DVD combo player or whatever.
Uh-huh.
My dad still has one.
I worked at Best Buy when those things were hot.
Oh yeah. Selling hotcakes.
It was you could get a 13-inch TV with the VHS and DVD combo all in one.
You got to set up, dude. That's your fucking
That was
thing.
the standard kids' room TV.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Because we got a cover, we got a shitload of old VHS and all that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I hear you. With me, so the funny thing is, the first time I saw this movie, I didn't go to the theater or anything like that. My dad, actually, I'd seen the previews for it, but I'd already seen Deep Impact, and I was like, well, it's, probably more of the same, really. And, so this buddy that my dad worked with, he went through and he was telling my dad, he was like, man, this is a great movie. He's like, you've got to check out this movie, bro. And so anyway, I went through, my dad, like sight unseen, went through and bought this movie, which is totally uncharacteristic of my dad. And that's the VHS that he still has to this day. And so anyway, he went through and he's like, hey, dude, this guy at my job said that this movie's like the shit, bro. And so I was pumped about it because I like Bruce Willis, you know, and whatever about Ben Affleck.
Well, it's got a monster all-star cast.
Yeah, the cast is out of control on this thing. And so anyway, we went through and like I was so excited about it. I actually woke up like early before I had to go to school, and I wound up watching the VHS tape. And I only got like halfway through it the first morning, and then the next morning I woke up early and I went through and I watched it, and by the end I was like, what a piece of fucking shit, dude. I could have been sleeping this whole time. So I guess we'll go into whether or not my opinion has changed on this.
Yeah, but, I can say as a fan, a vocal fan of Armageddon, I have met two walks of life in my life as far as Armageddon is concerned. I've met people that either agree with me 100% that it's an incredible movie, or I've met people that are like, you're out of your fucking
polar
mind.
Fucking opposite. Yeah.
That's a piece of garbage.
It's not very often with this movie you roll up to somebody and you're like, yo, what'd you think about Armageddon? And they're like, it was alright.
Yeah. They didn't think it was
Love it or
great,
hate
or
it.
they didn't like it at all. Yeah.
Right. Some interesting stuff. So first off, let's do the rundown here, because going through this cast is going to take about half of this show. We got Bruce Willis, obviously, aforementioned.
Who doesn't love Bruce Willis?
It's un-American right there. Billy Bob shows up. I fucking love Billy Bob.
So do I.
Dude, he's fantastic. And I was watching him the other day. There was that Inside the Actors Studio thing on Bravo.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And
some of those can be really good.
Yeah. I saw one with Al Pacino. It was fantastic. Yeah. So they had old dude.
Billy Bob?
Billy Bob, yeah. I was thinking Angelina's ex.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But no, Billy Bob Thornton was on there, and they're asking him, you know, like how he got ready to like go get into the role or whatever. He's like, I just gotta like take like 30 seconds to like mentally prepare myself. And so like anyway, he sat back there like, can you do it right now? And he's like, yeah. And so like he just kind of sat there for a second and like kind of got into this vibe or whatever. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know is like did this weird facial contortion thing where he's like got this underbite now, you know, and all this other, and like look, just, you know, like he looks like a completely different person.
Just like Sling Blade.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And so, yeah, dude's crazy, but he's awesome.
You know what? I had a whole theory on Billy Bob and his craziness. I thought, you know, like everybody else in America, I thought he was crazy. I thought he was out of his fucking mind. I think he was just playing the role to bang Angelina.
You think so?
Yeah, because since they've been split up, he's pretty normal.
Pretty normal guy. You never even hear anything about him anymore, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he was just like, she's hot.
Just riding the wave.
She wants me to be weird. I'm gonna be weird.
Right.
I'll wear her blood around my neck.
Right. Casket and look. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no big deal.
She's giving it up. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. Who else? Ben Affleck. If you don't know who Ben Affleck is, I don't even know what to say to you at this point.
Everybody knows who Ben Affleck is.
Yeah,
he plays Batman now.
Yeah, unfortunately. What's your take on Batfleck?
Oh, I could do without it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same boat. Liv Tyler, daughter of Steven Tyler.
Her debut, I believe.
I don't know if it was her debut or not.
I think the only thing she'd been in before was like Aerosmith videos.
Oh, really? Okay. I know that this movie premiered on her 21st birthday. For what that's worth. But I wasn't sure if it was the original.
I'm not sure either. I'm just talking shit.
Oh, okay. Will Patton plays Charles Chick Chapel.
I've definitely seen him in other things before, but
he was in Gone in 60 Seconds and
stuff
like that.
He's really good in this.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's one of my favorite characters because he's kind of like all the Roughnecks are crazy and stuff like that. He's more subdued, I guess, than the other ones. It kind of makes him stand out, you know, amongst all the crazies. We got Steve Buscemi.
Who doesn't love Steve Buscemi?
Bro. Have you watched Boardwalk Empire, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's great. But he's good at comedy, too, which he does a lot of in this movie. Fantastic stuff. William Fichtner. He plays Colonel Willie Sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was in, most recently, the thing I guess I saw him in was the Ninja Turtles movie.
Was he Splinter?
He was...
I mean, not Splinter,
he was
Shredder?
Shredder, yeah. We got Owen Wilson. Once again, if you don't know who Owen Wilson is, you're a moron.
I like Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
He always just plays Owen Wilson.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
It's always the same character.
Mm-hmm. This or Meet the Parents or Starsky and Hutch or whatever you want to talk about, it's always this.
He does the... Oh, man. It's a Brothers production. And is it Farrelly Brothers?
He does a lot of... I think he's done some Farrelly Brothers stuff.
But he plays... He's always like the normal guy in that movie, in their movies.
Oh, really?
Everybody else is like awkward, like Bill Murray's in a couple of them and stuff like that.
I don't know.
Am I thinking of the right thing?
I don't know if that's their... Oh, I know. You might be talking about like... Are you talking about like Wes Anderson stuff or something like that? Like the Royal Tannenbaums, maybe?
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, no, that's Wes Anderson.
Oh, okay.
And that's actually Luke Wilson, his brother, that was in that one anyway. But
Right.
I think he's been in like the Steve Zissou thing and all that stuff, you know, the aquatic life and all that shit.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's actually plays like the straight man a lot in those. But I think everybody, like, those are generally pretty somber movies, actually. Like that and Rushmore and, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Michael Clark Duncan, may he rest in peace.
Love that dude.
Fantastic. I don't think I've seen anything he's done that I wasn't on board with. But
I really like him in this movie.
yeah. I used to date this girl back in the day, and she thought the whole thing where, like, he, like, took off his, like, hospital gown and, like, was wearing his tiger under... She thought that was, like, the sexiest thing ever. It's like, really?
Well, we know what you're into.
Yeah, that surprised the hell out of me.
Not you, Shane.
No, that's... I mean, you know...
Far cry.
Right, yeah, that's pretty far down on the list. So people always call him this, Peter Stormare, but it's actually Peter Stormata. He's the one that plays the Russian cosmonaut.
Lev.
Yeah, Lev. And it's funny because him and Steve Buscemi were in Fargo together, that movie.
Plays a lot of... Does he have an accent in real life?
Yeah, I think he's like Swedish.
But he always plays like a Russian or Eastern European of some sort.
Yeah. Never... I don't think I've ever seen him play an actual like Swedish dude. So it's different.
Yep.
I guess I've looked up a little bit as far as the trivia on this. Apparently, according to IMDb, Bruce Willis was given a second trailer that housed a full working gym at an estimated cost of $175,000, and it went unused. He did not bother with the exercises.
Man.
It's Bruce Willis. Exercise if you want.
And I thought he was getting in shape for like a Die Hard sequel or something.
Apparently not.
Nope.
No. Let's see. I don't think that's noteworthy. Let's see.
Riveting, Shane.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. The average, like, in this movie, whenever they would film something and then cut to another shot or whatever, the average length of each shot was about 1.5 seconds.
The average length of shots in this film is 1.5 seconds?
Yes. So, like, you might have one that went on for, like, 3 seconds, but the next one might be, like, you know, 0.75 seconds or something.
Well, it is
like
a
that.
Michael Bay film.
Yeah.
And
he loves them jump cuts.
Yeah, he's pretty notorious for that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Steve Buscemi also appeared in, oh, here we go, Fargo, The Big Lebowski, and 13 Moons. I never saw 13 Moons, but let's see. There was something else that I wanted to take a look at, but I think that's probably about it that I have noteworthy. Oh, did you notice that J.J. Abrams was a writer for this movie?
I did not notice.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is back when he was just a little baby, but that's all right. You know, he's made a name for himself. So.
Well, now he runs both space franchises.
Right, fantasy and sci-fi and yeah, all that stuff. Do you have anything that you want to add before we take a stab at these here numbers?
No, man.
All right.
No, I'm ready.
It was made on a budget of $140 million.
On a big cast.
Yeah, big cast and a lot of paydays. How many weeks would you guess it was number one at the box office.
I've been doing terrible at this lately. I'm gonna go crazy and say 1.
You just redeemed yourself, homie. It was 1 week. Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
That is nuts.
I remember this being like a big deal, and I'm surprised that 1 week was all that it got. But
yeah, I guessed 1 because I thought that'd be outlandish.
yeah. No, it languished in the top 10 for a while, but any guesses as to the total domestic box office take at the end of the day?
330 million.
201, 578.
I was really far off. On that.
Yeah, you were kind of far off. Altogether, worldwide, it brought in 553 million. So 140,000 or 140 million. 140,000, that'd be awesome.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, it's like Paranormal Activity or something.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that's pretty good turnaround.
It only made $500 million.
Right. Yeah, I would take it. Anyway, I guess I'm ready to talk about this. If you are.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I
I
feel like I'm leaving something out.
You said it like a question. I think we'll uncover some stuff while we're talking about it.
Yeah. So this isn't Michael Bay, obviously. As the movie starts out, we see the Jerry Bruckheimer thing. For the longest time, I was thinking. I think I talked about it in Top Gun too. I thought that I hated Jerry Bruckheimer. As it turns out, this whole time I just hated Michael Bay. No, I don't like Michael Bay. I think his movies are pretty dull.
Dull?
Yeah, like this.
You could say dull. Wait, hold on. You could say like you don't like
Stupid.
their movies, but you can't say dull. Michael Bay is known for making huge action movies.
I remember watching like the first Transformers movie and was just bored out of my mind watching that stupid ass movie.
So you just don't find them interesting, but they're not dull in any.
Well, if I don't find it interesting, then I'm not going to get vested.
Okay,
in it,
so maybe you think they're dull.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, there's shit blowing up, and like that's definitely an attention grabber. Don't get me wrong, but at some point though, you have like this constant explosions and stuff, and it's almost like I become desensitized to it, where I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's just exploding shit, But
I think Michael Bay movies are fun to watch. I wouldn't like say that they're my favorite movies.
He's no Hitchcock
but they're just like eye candy.
Yeah, that's basically what I'd hold it up there with. Is like a really expensive fireworks show, kind of almost.
Okay.
With worse characters, maybe.
All right.
There were 2 movies of his that I did appreciate though. The first of which being The Island with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
I thought that was a pretty good movie.
It's good.
And this is one that gets a lot of hate, but I enjoyed it a lot, was Pain and Gain. I thought that was pretty funny movie.
It is funny.
Yeah. It's weird, but I liked it.
Based on actual events?
I heard that they took a lot of liberties with that.
They always do.
Right. But, I mean, overall, it's such a crazy story, man.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like it. But those are probably the 2 of his that I walked away going, that wasn't bad at all, I actually own The Island, so figure that out. But anyway, go ahead. Let's get this ball rolling here.
Well, we open up with a scene. Yeah, we can see the planet Earth.
Right.
And they talk about a time when a 6-mile wide rock crashed into the Earth, and that it could happen again. Right.
Yep. Basically, they're alluding to, we cut to where it talks about like 65 million years later. It's talking about us, basically, modern day. Where they essentially said that it destroyed all the life on the Earth. It incinerated everything, essentially. Then we see where modern day, there's an astronaut that's out in space. I guess he's repairing some kind of satellite or something.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of hard to tell with those 1.5 second shots, but whatever. So there's all this space debris and shit that starts like flying and just pelting the shit out of him.
But we see Billy Bob.
Oh, yeah.
He's down in Houston. Mm-hmm. He's controlling the operation.
Dan Truman, that's his name.
Right.
Yeah. And, of course, the astronaut's, like, shitting his pants, and the guy's basically fucked,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a machine gun lets off rounds on this thing. Just pelting the shit out of him.
Yeah. They go through, NASA doesn't really know what it is. They suspect at first it could be any number of things, some kind of missile launch. that destroyed the space shuttle and the satellite and everything else.
A surprise missile attack.
Yeah, exactly. The black dude that was the high-ranking
general.
Yeah, the general in the Air Force, I guess. He was actually in the movie They Live back in the day with Roddy Piper.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, man. It was crazy, but that's actually a good-ass movie, and I'd like to talk about it someday. I've already made the thumbnail, actually, for YouTube.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, so they assume that it's an enemy attack. They go to DEFCON 3, is it?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll say that. The only DEFCONs that I know about are from, like, watching War Games with Matthew Broderick. So
I don't know what any of them mean.
Oh, okay. Because I know, like, DEFCON 1's supposed to be, like, war just started, you know, like World War 3.
Oh, so it's like burns?
Yeah, kind of. Like
the bigger the number, the less severe?
Right. So, yeah, like DEFCON 3, it's bad, but it could be worse. DEFCON 2, okay, now we're getting there. DEFCON 1's like the shit show, you know.
The first degree burn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we see, after they bullshit for a while, we see New York City, and we get a really annoying, what is it here? I wrote.
You talking about Eddie Griffith?
Yeah, Eddie Griffith. He's being so obnoxious in this movie.
Eddie Griffith with Little Richard?
Yeah, the stupid dog.
I love
What is
it.
it, a pug or whatever?
It's a French bulldog.
Oh, okay.
I think it's hilarious.
I like Eddie Griffith. I remember watching him back in the day on this show, Malcolm and Eddie, on like UPN or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I think Malcolm Griffith, all I think about is the time he crashed like that $1 million like Ferrari. Like,
in real life?
Yeah, he was like at a closed course, and they're just to test drive like these Ferraris. Like if they're gonna buy one, they get to test drive one.
That sucks.
And he wrecked it, so he had to buy it.
Oh man.
But he's got this little French bulldog that he calls Little Richard.
Little Richard.
And he's talking about how one day they're not gonna ride a bicycle
He's gonna
forever.
make it. He's gonna get a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been riding all day. And you got poop.
Yeah.
So he takes him to downtown, like Manhattan, to walk his dog to poop, I guess.
Dog breaks off, starts attacking like the street vendor, has like these stupid Godzilla toys and shit.
That's gotta be a shot at Godzilla.
I'm guessing.
Godzilla didn't come out too long before this.
No, it didn't, but I don't get the joke.
Just fuck
reference?
Godzilla.
Yeah. Okay. We see another really cool cameo. I don't know if you picked it out, but the one that's he's the cab driver. Mm-hmm. Once the rocks start hitting, Mark Curry.
Yeah, I know.
From Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Yeah, it was awesome. Back in the day, I remembered seeing him in this, and then like I'd forgotten all about it until we watched it just now, and I was like, oh shit, you know. No, what's happening though is that these rocks are actually falling from the sky, the space debris, and just fucking the shit out of New York City, basically.
Yeah, it hits every trademark.
Yeah.
Every symbol of New York City, even hits one of the Twin Towers.
Yeah. Chrysler Building.
Yeah,
second time we've seen it go down this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the meteors hits the street vendor directly on the head.
When like Eddie Griffin's talking shit to him.
Yeah. And it just punches a hole clean into the ground.
Right.
And Little Richard's just hanging by his harness.
Don't get that, but whatever.
The guy's dead, but Little Richard survived. Yeah.
So anyway,
there's bogeys everywhere. So we're led to believe that people in the film still don't know what's going on.
Right.
All the citizens of New York City are yelling around, talking about we're being attacked. The cab driver yells out, Saddam Hussein's bombing us. And this is 98, like before 9/11.
Right.
So like all that stuff's going down.
It was a lot funnier back then, you know.
Yeah. So we're supposed to act like we don't know what's going on, but to me, in as many movies that I've watched, and meteors and asteroids and everything, to me it looks like a damn meteor shower.
Well, and if you walked into the movie and ever saw the poster or watched the trailer for the movie, then obviously you know what the fuck is going on.
Well, and the opening scene was talking about how a 6-mile wide rock crashed into the planet.
So, yeah. Let's just cut the bullshit here. But anyway.
But they need Truman, a.k.a. Billy Bob Thornton, to tell us it was a meteor shower.
Yeah. They start asking us stuff, and he's like, no, it was meteors that took it out. In the meantime, we meet the astronomer.
Yeah, he's like a hobbyist astronomer, and we've skipped over the scene where his wife like comes out to bring him food or whatever, and he's like, "Get the goddamn phone book!"
Yeah.
And do I look like a maid to you? He's like, "Get the book! Get the book! Get the book!"
Yeah, he just keeps yelling at her. His wife Dottie.
Yeah.
There's a reason that I remember that name.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, he basically is on the phone with
Truman.
Truman, yeah. Which second Truman we've seen this year.
Yeah.
But he's on the phone with Truman, and he's like, now the guy that discovers the asteroid gets to name it, right? And he's like, yeah, you know. And he's like, well, I want to name it after my wife, you know, like that. And she like looks over and like, oh, that's kind of sweet, you know. He's like, because she's what is it, the cold-hearted bitch from which there's no escape or whatever. Like
Life-sucking.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like right to her face, he says that.
Yeah, it's harsh, dude.
Yeah, pretty hard.
I would not say that to my wife.
So we cut back to NASA, and they're analyzing the asteroid Dottie that's headed our way.
Yes.
And they said it's the size of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And what they consider to be a global killer.
Yes. So nothing will survive, not even bacteria.
Yeah, I thought that was strange.
Well, it is strange, but that's a pretty deadly deal if it's killing off literally, you know, our microscopic organisms.
Life on planet as we know is done.
Yeah, it's done. We're just like any other planet at this point.
Just Mars.
Right.
We find out we have 18 days till impact.
18 days.
That doesn't seem like long enough.
I had some problems with that later on in the movie too, which we'll go into once they start wrangling up all the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so we, long story short, cut to this deep sea oil rig
in the South China Sea.
Yeah, and we meet Harry Stamper, played by Bruce Willis.
Yep.
And he is apparently a hobby of hitting golf balls with this Greenpeace like tugboat that's like protesting.
They're out there protesting him. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, let's just pretend for a second I'm Harry Stamper.
Yes.
Okay. Regardless of what my current opinion is on environmental stuff, let's just pretend I'm him. I'm a rich guy who owns my own independent oil rig.
Right.
I'm gonna hit some golf balls at some protesters.
Yeah, they're messing with your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, go away. And he even makes a point to say, you know how much that thing burns oil-wise, you know?
Yeah.
You know? So they get the word he gets the word from his buddy Chick that apparently there was something that went wrong on, I didn't get the gist of it really.
Well, no,
something got screwed up.
Drill number 2
right.
chewed up 150 feet last night.
Okay.
So what that means
they
is
drilled down 150
He drilled down 150 feet.
But he wasn't supposed to. He told him to stop.
Well, they had shut down drill 2 for the night.
Right. But he was like, who's responsible for this?
Yeah.
And of course it's this dude, AJ, which has been Affleck.
Right.
Yes. So he screwed it up. He didn't really screw it up, but he wasn't supposed to be out there messing with it.
Right.
So Harry gets to go up to AJ's room and start chewing butts, just like Top Gun. And so he's chewing his ass out. Next thing you know is he's like, you're right, I'm an idiot. I should have listened to you, and I didn't, and I'm sorry, you know, and all that. And Bruce Willis isn't buying any of it.
He says you've never apologized this fast.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you've worked for me for 5 years, and yeah. And then he notices that there's like lingerie scattered around his room and stuff like that. Pulls back the blanket, and it's Harry's daughter. Worst possible time.
The worst person ever.
Yeah.
That could have been under that blanket.
Right. So Harry decides he's gonna chase around AJ with a shotgun.
Yep. Yeah. On an oil rig.
On an oil rig, yeah. We're introduced to Steve Buscemi's character, Rockhound, and he's like, did you know about this? Like, while he's loading the gun, he's like, I don't know anything about nothing.
Mm-hmm. You get the idea that the whole crew knows.
Right. And we find out later they've actually been dating for like 5 months, but I guess Harry's the only one that's been out of the loop on the whole thing.
Yep.
So the daughter, her name is Grace, by the way, that's Liv Tyler. What's your opinion on her? Like, actress-wise, person, like any...
As far as like her body of work goes, or this movie?
Kind of both, I guess.
I think she did great in this movie.
Okay.
Like, when you need emotion from her, she gives you emotion. She's just a girl in love, man. Most of the movie, she's just a girl in love.
See, I disagree. I think she looked bored in a lot of this.
Well, she's scared.
I guess she was scared. She could have conveyed that emotion, I guess, a little bit.
I think she was scared, confused, like all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
When the scenes when she needs to cry, she's bawling.
Yeah, that's fair, especially toward the end and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I
just figure like at least throughout like the first 3/4 of this movie, she was just kind of going through the motions, to me at least. But anyway,
so he says he's going to shoot off one foot.
Yeah, he can still work with one foot.
Yeah, and then he does actually catch one of the pellets in the shin.
Yeah,
and he tells Harry that he loves her.
Yeah, wrong answer.
Yep.
And so we cut to NASA. We find out there's 431 hours, 15 minutes, 18 seconds until this stupid asteroid is going to hit. So they're going through all these stupid ass scenarios and
laser,
a laser,
solar sails.
Yeah, they got like these mylar sails. They're talking about like deploying up there and like steering this thing. And meantime, Truman's like, "This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard." You know.
Meanwhile,
are you kidding?
Just so you know, NASA solar sails are still big. One of their big ideas to redirect like a planet killer.
Jeez. I wonder how far in advance we would know about something like this.
Well, according to Truman, our budget's only big enough to,
accommodate 2%.
3%.
3%.
And it's a big ass sky.
Mm-hmm. But, so they get the idea. They're like, how about we take and launch a nuke? The general, he's like, let's just launch the shit out of all
150 nukes.
Yeah. And, which actually isn't that many nukes. I found out how many nukes are in the world, and it's pretty staggering. But
yeah, thousands, right?
Yeah, like 11,000 just between the U.S. and Russia.
Right.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't think, there's this guy that's supposed to be like big dingling, MIT scientist guy.
He says he's the smartest man on the planet.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that think they're the smartest people on the planet. Present company excluded, Mike.
Thank you.
But he's like, the real way to do it, he said, is to blow it up from within. And he uses that analogy of like if you have a firecracker in your hand, if you like just set one in your hand, pop it, he's like, it'll burn your hand, but that's about it.
Right.
But then, if you close your hand around it and then you pop it, he said, it's going to mess your hand up.
It's a really good analogy.
It is, yeah.
I mean, it worked for me. I bought it.
I mean, hey, I don't know if the physics are the same, but I'm just a dude watching a movie,
Right.
Yeah.
We're back on the rig.
Mm-hmm.
Grace tells Harry she chooses to be with AJ.
Right.
Harry says it's just because you don't have any choices.
Right. He's the only guy close to you in age.
We find out that she works for Harry. She's not just his daughter. She's also his translator, and I'm sure she does a plethora of other jobs.
She's doing some jobs on AJ. So.
Yeah, she sure is.
Some blowjobs and whatever. But
some clients.
Asian dignitary, like businessmen, show up. I guess.
Yeah, they're clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they show up. She's trying to translate. Meanwhile, Harry wants to talk about AJ.
Oh yeah, we found out Rockhound taught Grace how to use tampons.
Yeah. Pretty much, like, there's some funny parts of this movie, but the shit that seemed like it made me laugh the most was involving Steve Buscemi, because he's just so insane in this movie, dude.
So we just watched this movie together.
Yeah.
And I did notice that the times that we both audibly, chuckled,
right.
It was revolving around Rockhound, which is Steve Buscemi's character.
He's always up to shenanigans.
And he's a complete perv in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the stuff he does is pretty funny.
Yeah. He's like, I had to show her how to use tampon, or how to use a tampon, and he's like, all of a sudden, like, Bruce Willis, like, shoots him this leg. He's like, oh, I told her, I didn't show her, And so, sure enough, right about then, boom, they strike oil.
Yeah, they hit a gas pocket.
Yeah, there's oil everywhere.
Right.
And shit just starts going south.
Well, it shoots a bunch of the
crude.
When you're drilling, you keep putting pipes down to that drill.
Yeah.
It shoots a bunch of those back up out of the hole.
Mm-hmm. And so, shit starts going south. There's shit flying everywhere. They gotta get the fuck out of there. And it's right about this time that this Air Force general shows up. And he wants to pick up Harry. And
on the orders of the president.
Yeah. And at first, Bruce Willis thinks it's a practical joke.
Well, and Rockhound's like, she never told me her age.
Right? He's like, don't worry about that. He's like, they want me, not you. And so anyway, freaking, he goes, talks to Truman. He tells him basically...
They get briefed.
Yeah. Tells him what's up. He says that if they suspect that the meteor might hit the Pacific, if it does, it's going to shoot up a tidal wave 3 miles tall, traveling at 1,000 miles per hour.
It's still going to hit the core of the Earth, basically.
Right. Where you're fucked. They said that it would instantaneously boil like millions of gallons of water out of the ocean.
Right.
Yeah, and like it would still... Because that was Bruce Willis's idea. He's like, oh, well, if it hits the ocean, we should be fine. No, that's not the case at all. Apparently, it's traveling at 22,000 miles per hour at present speed. And he basically tells them that they have no desire to tell the public, however, because they figure that everybody's just going to act crazy and there's just going to be mass panic everywhere.
Same premise from Deep Impact.
Basically, yeah. They were kind of playing it close to the chest in that one.
Yeah.
But, so they have hired Harry basically to...
They got 15 days.
18 days.
15.
Is it 15?
Yeah, at this point they got 15 days.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to prep a team.
Yeah. They have this, like, astronauts that they are going to send up. Have Harry, like, give them the rundown on drilling real quick. And then, basically, he's just going to turn them loose, you know. And so, Harry thinks that that's a stupid idea. He says that I've been doing this for 30 years.
Well, NASA stole his drill design.
Mm-hmm.
So the drill that they're going to take into outer space to drill into this asteroid was actually designed by Harry.
And they put it together incorrectly.
Right. So it's all wrong. He wants to know what NASA's backup plan is. They said we don't have a backup plan.
Right.
And then basically he says, like, if you want me to help you with this, we can't take them. You gotta let me take my own men because it's all about working with people you trust.
Right.
I trust my men.
Right. And they know more about this than your boys do, whatever. I did think it was funny because apparently Ben Affleck actually asked Michael Bay at one point. He said, he said, wouldn't it be easier to train astronauts to drill than it would be to train drillers to go into space? And basically Michael Bay told him to shut up. Which is pretty funny. I love it.
I don't know, man. I think that kind of... I mean, those drillers, especially experienced ones, they know shit that other people don't know.
They do, but it's dumb. Are
you
telling me? No, it's stupid. Are you telling me that it's that much easier to go into space than it is to drill?
Okay, what do I have to do in space?
Everything? Like not die?
Well, I can do that. I cannot die. With the suit on? Do I get a suit?
Yeah.
I cannot die.
Okay. I don't even know what's involved with walking, but I know that
you put one foot in front of the other.
There's way more drillers than there are astronauts, which means to me that it's a much easier job.
And a higher demand.
Well, that's true too. There's not like professional astronauts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't like drop out of high school and go be an astronaut.
Right. Oh, I gotta go see my astronauts today. Shit. Yeah. That's valid. That's a valid point.
I'm not saying that the lowest guy on the oil rig isn't pretty easy.
Right.
Yeah, he's more of a hand.
Right.
But like the guys who run in the projects.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. There's a lot of nuance to that sort of thing, and a lot of just like general knowledge, like stuff that experience is the only teacher that you can really have to be proficient at it.
I think the hardest thing about being an astronaut is piloting a ship.
Well, yeah, and they brought pilots with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that.
So all they had to do was not die.
Right.
But anyway, so we have to go on a search for the team.
This is the problem that I had.
Okay.
So it's been 3 days.
Right.
In the meantime, AJ has his own like rig that he's like the president of.
Made a sign and everything.
Yeah. So he's his own business owner now.
Right.
We've got, so the other guys are like hanging out in Vegas.
All over the country.
Titty bars and stuff like that, yeah.
They're all over the country.
Right.
We got one guy in Vegas.
Yeah, one dude's on his cattle ranch or his horse ranch.
In Texas.
Yeah.
We
got Bear, who's like riding a motorcycle.
The only black man you'll find in North Dakota.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. I think he's like one of 3 people in North Dakota, actually.
Where the hell is Rockhound at?
So his funny one was he was at that bar and he was convincing that married girl that her ring was fake.
Oh, right.
Because he's trying to bang her. The girl that plays that, though, her name is Shawnee Smith. And she was like the girl, her name was Amanda in Saw and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
They had like the reverse bear trap
That's
thing.
probably where I recognize her.
Yeah. What's cool, though, so back in the day, my older sister, she lived in this cul-de-sac with this dude that was like their neighbor. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of flustered for whatever reason. It's bringing up memories now. But no, so in their cul-de-sac, her and her husband, there was this guy that lived there, and he said that apparently he was a scriptwriter. His name was Arik Hornig, and I guess he had done like an unscripted rewrite of like Saw 4 or something like that. And I called bullshit at first. And he was, but you can actually look him up on IMDb and stuff. And I was like, don't you have to be in Hollywood? I'm like, no, you can just email. He's like, back in the day, maybe, but you don't have to do that anymore. And so he went out to California on vacation. And he knew that I thought the Shawnee Smith was cool and all that. And he was like, they were like bros, you know. And so like he actually was going to go to breakfast or whatever. He's going to meet her there. And she like calls him on her cell phone or whatever. And she's like, hey, I'm sorry I'm running late, you know. And he's like, it's cool. Is everything okay? She's like, yeah, I just forgot Shane's autograph. And like, sure enough, this dude got a hold of like this autograph picture and had her like sign it. And it's somewhere in this closet over here full of junk. But it's her like in the mask from Saw and everything with her signature and all that, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty legit, yeah.
You should put it up.
So I think I should.
You have a whole room full of
that
movie
whole
themes.
Man cave, hell yeah. That's not a bad idea.
It's a pretty good idea.
I really need to, yeah.
I can't believe I had to think of it for you.
I need to find it first,
oh,
but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Rockhound's trying to convince this girl that's been married for 2 weeks.
Oh, he's in Louisiana. He's in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, they said anywhere in any bar in New Orleans, you're gonna have to look for him.
Right.
Yeah.
So the team is scattered everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Maxie's, I don't know where he's at.
3 days.
Yeah.
He's getting that mom tattoo.
Right, but I don't know where the hell that is.
No, I don't know.
But they have to go find these people. How long is that going to take?
Well, that's a good question. Who the hell told him to go home?
Oh, Harry did.
Harry did?
When he was getting on the helicopter, he said, get them paid and off the rig.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, these guys in the bosses and they just dip on out, dude. Like, fuck it, you know. Okay. So he basically explains the situation to the team. Everybody's kind of on board with it. The only person that's really reluctant is Max, the big dude. And he's just like aghast at the whole situation, you know. So they go through and do like these pre-examinations.
Well, they agree. They all agree.
Yeah, they do.
But they have some requests first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Harry presents to Truman the requests. And there were some pretty funny ones, like traffic tickets they wanted cleared.
Right.
Bear wants to stay in the White House for the summer.
Yeah. Max wants him to bring back 8 tracks.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if you can do that or not.
Yeah. Like, that's going to be the hard one.
Right.
Which is probably the hardest one to do.
I would think so, yeah.
I like how, like, the 2 big ones, though, whereas, like, can you tell us who killed Kennedy?
And then he, like, shoots him a look. He's like,
yeah.
Because they're just like stare at him.
Yeah. And then they don't ever want to pay taxes again.
Mm-hmm.
That's their closer.
I remember that from the trailer.
Yeah, that's their closer.
Yeah. I don't think that's too outlandish. I'm saving the world. I'm not paying taxes anymore.
And so this is one of the things I appreciate about the movie. So now we go, like you said, into the medical screen, and they give us a nice montage.
That's probably my favorite part of the movie is this montage. I'm not going to lie. It's hilarious.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so I just wrote pre-examinations, epic fail. They're talking about.
There you go. That's
it. They first do like the medical examination. This one woman, like, she's like, okay, chick, you're up next. And he's like, I'm just here to drill. She's like, me too. And like holds up this rod.
She's giving everybody like enemas.
Like checking prostates and stuff, I think.
No, they're all carrying these like hot water bags on sticks. Like they're flushing their systems.
They're like walking funny.
You can't walk around with that. If you get water jetted up your ass,
yeah,
they literally make you like stay in one spot on the bed, and you have to stay there for a certain amount of time, whatever the doctor says the time is.
Yeah.
And then there's a toilet immediately next to you.
Yeah.
You just hop down and you evacuate all
I've
your
been on a
house.
water slide. I know what it's like.
I've never had that happen on a water
I
slide.
have. It's horrible. I was like, oh, my guts hurt. I was like, I'm just going to walk it off. And I was like, oh, God, nope. Ain't no walking this off.
What?
Yeah, man. They're like, at the top, they're like, cross your legs when you go. I didn't cross my legs.
That's what happens when you don't cross your legs?
Man. That water shot right up my asshole. And like,
What?
Yeah, dude. I ain't
I
lying.
thought that thing was supposed to be watertight.
No, apparently not. Not at that pressure.
You need to get your blue knot checked out.
Anyway, I think we've talked about my asshole long enough. They talked to Bear about like his triglycerides and like his bad cholesterol. They're like, this is out of control, and like all of a sudden he like takes his hospital gown off.
They tell him to stop eating pork rinds.
Oh man.
Well, this is the scene that your ex-girlfriend loves.
Yeah, she thought it was awesome.
He even like pulls his underwear down a
His
little
underwear, yeah, you see a smashed cheek.
bit. Yeah.
Bear, by the way, is Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor.
Yeah.
But
a mountain of a man.
Mm-hmm. They wind up going into like the psychological profile exam. It's even worse. These guys are all nuts.
I noticed you really liked the chick one.
Yeah, that was pretty funny because they put him in this room that's noticeably awkward, and like it's this room that's like lined with like these spikes on it. There's no room like this in NASA, I guarantee you.
It's for acoustics.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. They're actually specifically designed to be like no sound.
Oh.
Like no sound bounces off.
No,
and
like
hits you-
echoing.
Yeah,
at all,
nothing
or-
hits you back in the ear.
I got you. And so yeah, he's just sitting there. He's like, "This is probably the most uncomfortable room I've ever been in." Like,
Yeah.
like the guy's like, "So are you uncomfortable with the situation?" He's like, "I'm not. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do." He's like, "I just don't think I can handle this room," you know.
Hits him with one of those like, what are those things called? Like 6 balls.
Oh, where it's like bouncing.
Yeah, clack, clack, clack.
He like slaps it off his desk and
Yeah.
shit.
The doctor runs out of there.
I like or Rockhound, the Steve Buscemi. He's like doing the Rorschach test. He's like, "Oh, that's a woman with large boobs. Oh, that's a woman with medium-sized boobs," and like all this other stuff.
This one actually looks like you with boobs.
With boobs, yeah. And of course, AJ, he's bitching because he realizes that Harry doesn't want him to date his daughter, and he's like, "Oh, this is Harry being judgmental of me. This is Harry not approving of me," and all this other shit.
Is that also when we find out that Rockhound is actually like a genius?
Super smart, yeah.
Dual major from MIT,
Yeah.
top physics at Harvard.
Right?
Like goes on and on and on about his accolades. Won the Westinghouse Award when he was 12 years old. Published at 19.
19. He had 2 doctorates I think he said doctorates by 22.
I'm glad that they gave us that little piece
Mm-hmm.
because the later in the movie would have made no sense.
Right? I agree. Yeah, he said the only reason he does the oiling job is because it pays good, there's a change of scenery, and he gets to play with explosives.
Right.
So, yeah.
So they all fail their medicals.
Yeah, big fail. All of them.
But they get approved anyways. Because Truman just wants to know, can they survive the flight?
Right, yeah. Will they make it up there and make it back? I don't even think making it back's that big a deal.
No. Then we get a training montage.
We do. First day we get to see the what is it? ZX-71?
X-71s, yeah.
X-71. There's 2 of them, the Freedom and the Independence. Yep. And then we cut to the training, basically.
Yeah, a montage that is
Sweet
soundtracked
Emotion.
by Sweet Emotion. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I will say, regardless of my opinion of this movie, which I haven't really given yet, maybe to some degree, there's no denying the soundtrack, dude. Because I love Aerosmith. I mean, it's good stuff all around, you know.
It's when they play the songs, it's really good.
Yeah.
I wrote down pool, flight sim,
Oh, yeah.
and suits.
Right. They're basically trying to simulate like a low gravity environment.
Sure.
Having a drill in it, so yeah, they're fucking around in this pool.
Right, but they're in a pool. Then we get a couple of scenes where they're flying around in fighter jets, like getting used to G forces, I guess.
Right.
They're all freaking out.
Mm-hmm. Max winds up puking everywhere. Yeah.
Then we get the scene with the suits. We get a chance to meet. We already met her, but damn it, what's her name?
I forget her name. I wonder if I have it on my phone.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh. Dead air, folks. Dead air. I think that's a big negative, so I made you wait for nothing, everybody.
I think her name's like Stearns or something like that. But anyways,
doesn't matter.
She's instructing these guys on how the suits operate.
Right.
And how they have these like thrusters that keep them on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Bear and Chick are like bullshitting.
Yeah.
She chews out Bear and says that if she kicked him in the nuts, he would just fly off the planet.
Right.
Unless he listens to what she says.
Right. And what does Rockhound say after that?
When do we begin that training?
Yeah, that's what it is. What a fucking idiot. I love that dude.
He's a creep.
Yeah, he is. But he's so delightfully creepy.
Well, because he's not a real person.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, if somebody if I worked with a dude like that, I would stay away from that dude. You know?
And maybe report him.
Right?
This is like the second or third time where he's talked about like she didn't know her age. Right. He said it at least a couple times.
Yeah, why don't you shut up and stay away from me?
Yeah. 6 days till the flight.
Yeah, I just wrote down meteors closing in.
Yep.
So they go through this whole scenario where they're gonna go through kind of what the flight plan's supposed to look like. They have these 2 shuttles on sticks and like this globe that's hanging or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the guy says, or Truman says, "This isn't to scale." Really? You're really gonna bring 2 full-size space shuttles in this office? You know.
I think he means the size of the space shuttle compared to the size of the planet.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking like 1/4 scale, like, okay, well, this is 1/4 of the size of a real space shuttle. Whatever.
Yeah, no, that's what scale means.
Yeah.
But the scale of the space shuttles were much bigger than they would have been.
He's talking about by comparison.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
When you talk about to scale, you mean that everything in the scene, and I noticed that you kind of got confused about this in the Back to the Future, too.
Yeah.
It means everything used for the demonstration is
Right.
scaled to the proper proportions.
Right. No, I got what you're saying now.
Okay.
I was thinking... I just thought that they threw around the words "to scale" too much. Yeah, no shit, it's not to scale. To do it to scale, we're gonna have to hop in this motherfucker and actually do it. You know. What they're gonna do is go up into space. They're gonna dock with the Russian space station. They're gonna fuel up there, and then they're going to take off, slingshot around the moon so that they can build up enough speed to rendezvous around the backside of the meteor so that they can land on it.
Right.
Yes. Sounds pretty easy altogether.
Yeah.
And then, what's his name?
Owen's character name?
Owen Wilson, yeah. What is that stupid guy's stupid name? Oscar.
Yeah.
He asked what it's going to be like up there.
Yeah, so Truman gives him a description, and Oscar just says, "Oh, so you mean the scariest environment ever?"
Right. It said 200 degrees in sunlight, minus 200 in the shade, random explosions going off all around you, and then they discuss the zero barrier. And the zero barrier is this deal where basically they have a certain point that they can blow up the meteor by, and it'll basically, both pieces of it, it'll bust in half and then go around the Earth. But if they don't do it in time, then basically it'll divide it into half, but the 2 pieces are going to collide with the Earth at that point.
Yes.
And then we'll be screwed. And it won't matter anything.
It's got to be blown up before this spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a whole movie that, while I was watching it, thinking, like, this is a movie of countdowns, you know?
There's quite a bit of those.
Yeah, so we start at 18 days, then we cut down to 15 days, now we're down to 6 days. They've got this timer going, you know, where it was, 431 hours. Now we've got this zero barrier deal. Later on, we're doing a countdown because they're like on the asteroid or the meteor, and they're like digging down. And so we're doing a countdown there. They're like, oh, we're only 57 feet. Oh, now we're 790 feet, you know, and all this other shit.
There's a lot of countdowns.
Just counting down the whole movie, you know.
I will admit to that, and it might be an easy way to build suspense.
Might be. It's an easy way to try to build suspense, we'll say. But,
so Harry's looking for Grace.
Grace, yeah.
And he asks Oscar. Oscar says she's in the hangar with AJ. Oh wait, Bear. I thought you meant Bear.
Bear, yeah.
Bear's in the hangar with AJ. And then we get this really awkward scene.
Yeah.
For me, this is maybe one of the most awkward parts of the whole movie, because I am a dad.
Yeah.
of a girl.
Oh, yeah, no.
So he goes into the hangar and he catches AJ and Grace having like a picnic inside of one of the boosters of a rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ's like pulling down the strap of her.
Yeah, a little spaghetti strap.
Yeah, and he's like kissing on her shoulder. And it's what they're doing is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that the dad finds them and
walks in.
watches.
Not cool.
He watches for a second. And I don't even think in a creepy way. I think it's meant to be like, oh, they really do love each other. Like it's supposed to be for him to kind of dawn on him.
Yeah, maybe. I think that part of it was he was just... See, when I was watching it, because at this point, I wasn't really picking up on any of Bruce Willis like changing his mind too much about AJ. And so I thought he just kind of went in there and watched it and was just like trying to mull it over in his head. And then finally he was like, fuck it, whatever, and then took off.
Well, he also might have been thinking like, we got 6 days to live.
That's true. Let them do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably going to die anyway. It won't matter in a week, you know.
And he talks to the whole crew about it. He's pissed off because I guess he overhears AJ ask her to marry him.
Right.
And, which of course she says yes. By the way, AJ works on a very successful oil rig.
Yeah.
And he's like the number 2 guy.
Right.
They make a lot of money at that level.
A lot of money.
And he puts a chip of a diamond ring on her finger.
Oh, I didn't even look at the ring.
It was a speck of a diamond on her finger.
Yeah. Just a nothing of a... Well, and now he's a business owner.
Well, maybe that's what he spent all his money on.
Right. Well, that's true, too. I could see that, maybe. Yeah. Nothing going on with that ring, huh?
But, the whole crew is talking, and they're all on AJ's side.
Right.
Rockhold gets creepy and talks about how like she's full on hot chick.
Yeah.
And then a couple of other guys jump on board along with that. Like, yeah, she's really hot. And he's like, you're fucking talking about my daughter.
Right. Bruce Willis is basically the opinion that, you know, because they're all like, hey, you know, she was raised around guys like us. So it makes sense that this is what she would gravitate toward. And he's like, no. He said, that's my daughter. You know, she's a smart girl. She's always been, like, doing the right thing and stuff. He goes, she deserves better than
a rough
me or any of us, you know. Yeah. And so he doesn't want her marrying him. Long story short. I think this is where we go back to... Oh, they say that they have to drill into the rock 800 feet. And then we do like another underwater simulation where AJ gets a little too hot in the heels.
800 feet's not very deep for a rock the size of Texas.
It's really not, dude. That's what I was thinking too. Like 800 feet, I can't even think of a good comparison. That's not even an eighth of a mile, you know?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Well, it may be an eighth of a mile, but it's not far, dude. Like
it's definitely not a quarter of a mile.
Well, and that's the thing, yeah, is it wouldn't take very far for, you know, this I mean, the thing is that like we don't want these bombs exploding on the surface. What difference is 800 feet gonna make, you know?
When you're talking the size of Texas?
Yeah.
I imagine the size of a Texas in a pancake shape.
That's what I'm thinking.
And you're drilling from the top of the pancake. It doesn't take very long to get to the center.
Right.
But that's not what we see later.
No, that's not.
Yeah, so you're right. So we find out they have to drill 800 feet, and this is what you're saying. We would go back to the underwater simulator.
Right. And AJ's like digging through. They start like throwing a couple of different kinks in his way, which really comes into play later on in the movie because everything that can go wrong does. Mm-hmm. But so he winds up, he's digging down in the simulation underwater, and he winds up blowing the transmission on this thing. He thought that he was going to be fine, but he wasn't. And Harry talks to him. He's like, you're about to get fired, dude. You know, they're not going to take a bunch of bullshit from you. And so Harry decides that he wants the guys to have a night off, kind of blow off some steam.
Again, so earlier we had 6 days left. We just did some underwater simulators, so let's just pretend that's only 1 day extra. So we have 5 days left until the rock's going to hit the planet.
Right.
Day off. At least 10 hours.
Yeah. We're not going to... We probably should be sleeping the night before.
And we also are going to let these guys go home.
Right.
We've already established these dudes live all over the country.
Right. Yeah. It's true, man. Like, some of them are, like, impossible to find, you know? Like, Rockhound, there ain't no telling where that dude's gonna be, you know? The one dude, they had to go to Vegas to find... Who knows where he's gonna be in Vegas? gets to it.
Right. But it does give us an opportunity to kind of see some other sides of the characters.
Yeah.
We get
like Chick.
Yeah, we get the scene with Chick, like you said.
Yeah.
He goes and sees his kid.
Yeah, he goes to his ex's house. I don't know if it's ex-wife or whatever.
Definitely his child's mother.
Yeah. And he wants to see his son, obviously. But the mom's like, oh, that's just a salesman, whatever, because the kid's inquiring about him. And she's like, you can't just show up like this,
Apparently there's a court order.
Really, yeah. A lot of bad blood there. That chick is a bitch all around. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You don't know what kind of life she had with that
I don't
dude.
know what she had going on, but we're about to get into her deal. And so whenever I saw what was coming up, because at this point I'm like, dude, he could have done some shitty stuff to this girl, But later, here in a couple minutes, we're going to get to a point where I was like, forget her, she's stupid. But we see where, what is it? Max and Rockhound. Rockhound went and got a loan for $100,000.
He doesn't think they're coming back.
No, he's pretty sure they're dead.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have any worries about paying it back at all.
Right.
Yeah. They go to this titty bar, wind up getting in a fight, getting arrested.
World class titty bar, by the way.
Oh yeah, this thing is high dollar, bro.
It's called Love.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
They're throwing around $10,000, and stuff like that at one time,
Yeah, some bikers get pissed off because Rockhound's crew is bogarting all the attention.
Yeah. Understandable. And big old fight breaks out, and they wind up getting busted. AJ wrote this down. AJ spends his night off shoving food down Grace's pants. This is what I wrote down.
It's foreplay, man.
With animal crackers.
He didn't shove.
It sounded funny the way I wrote it, though.
Yes, it is.
No, they're kind of bullshitting with animal crackers.
Well, they're at a picnic again. They like picnics.
Jeez, I guess. Yeah.
It's just him and Grace laying by their car, out in the grass somewhere. And to me, it's made to look like we're back at the property that Harry found him. Because there's a fence around.
Yeah, I could.
But he's not
long
there.
Way to go
Yeah, he's not
night,
there.
Yeah.
So,
he drives this badass BMW. I'm like, you gave her a shitty ring. You're driving this cool ass convertible BMW, whatever.
I don't know. We saw when they left the compound, they were all being escorted out in government vehicles, and then I guess dropped off somewhere.
Yeah.
But anyways, he does this whole Serengeti scene on her with the gazelle and a cheetah with animal crackers.
Right. Going up to the mountains and all this shit. Yeah.
You just went country.
Did I?
Yeah.
The mountains.
Sling Blade does the Serengeti.
Right?
Yeah, but anyways, talks about going up to her boobs and going down, way down south.
Yeah, going down under, all that stuff. Yeah.
And she chuckles. He's being
Right.
silly.
Mm-hmm. Sticks a little cookie down her britches, though.
Well, just puts the feet of it at the edge of her britches.
Stuffing food down her pants. There's some weird shit.
I Don't Want to Miss a Thing is playing in the background.
Oh, God, yeah.
Which is kind of strange. Okay, I get it. But that shows you how cool Steven Tyler is.
Yeah.
He's playing a love song for his daughter's love scene.
Yeah. While she's getting food stuffed in her pants.
I mean, he probably didn't know about that part.
Right. That's true. What's weird to me, so I don't think that Liv Tyler's gorgeous or anything.
What?
She never really did much for me.
God.
But I will say, to come from the loins of Steven Tyler, one of the ugliest motherfuckers in rock and roll, I think that dude is homely looking, bro.
Yeah, but he's banging supermodels.
Well, that's true too. So that's a fair, valid point.
And if you're at, let's just say it's not even a supermodel, say it's at one of your concerts.
Right.
And you get to choose from I don't know, the 300 girls that show up at your dressing room.
Right.
And all you're interested is in a physical connection for the night. You're going to pick the one you're most attracted to.
That's valid. Yeah. I'm surprised some goofy, big-lipped thing didn't come out of...
He's got more than one kid.
Does
you
he?
should Google him sometime.
I guess I should. Just quit listening to his music and check him out on the internet.
I think that's about wrapped up the night out scene.
Yeah. Right about that time, More rocks are about to hit, I think they said East Asia.
South Pacific.
South Pacific, yeah. And they decide they're not going to alert anybody because what's the fucking point, you know?
Right.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Evacuate Asia? And so that winds up getting screwed up pretty bad. After the guys get arrested at the titty bar, the word gets out about Dottie, basically.
Dottie went public.
Yeah.
So did the wife go public of the astronomer?
No, what I think happened was they were trying to get out of jail. These guys were, and they just spilled the beans on the whole thing as an attempt to get out of jail.
I think the impact is what why it went public.
Oh, yeah, that's entirely possible. Why wouldn't it have gone public after New York, though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Donnie went public and it ended up the impact in the South Pacific ended up hitting in Shanghai, killing 50,000 people.
Damn. Pretty... Well, you could hit a building in Shanghai and probably kill 50,000 people.
Probably.
I heard that thing's packed, dude, but yeah.
The media is starting to go crazy now.
Yeah, there's a frenzy. Yeah.
Understandably so.
Mm-hmm. They don't know anything about it. And so there's about 12 hours left until the blast-off is going to take place. And Grace decides that she wants to talk to Harry. And he's like, hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have drug you around. I was just trying to do what's best for you. She's like, no, I love my life. And she makes him promise that he's going to come home.
Yep.
Yep.
I think you're not supposed to do that.
It's probably not a good idea.
That's bad luck.
Yeah. And, yeah, it is. We'll say that.
As a soldier who's deployed 4 times, you don't say that.
Yeah. Promise you I'll come home. No.
You say, I love you, I'll always love you.
Right.
Whatever you want to say, we don't say, I promise I'll come home.
Right. So then I just wrote down they're suiting up. And then AJ sings for Grace.
Leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah.
I want to make a note.
All right.
We're 1 hour into this 2.5 hour long movie.
Yeah.
This is the first time watching it where I was like, holy shit, they dragged this out.
The funny part is, though, is to me, this is the part of the movie that I like the most, is whenever they're like being goofy and stuff at the beginning. All this like super melodramatic garbage takes place in this movie later on. I don't care about that shit, dude. I really don't. Like, I just like to watch these roughnecks go up to NASA and like screw around, and then to me that's kind of like watching like Full Metal Jacket, the boot camp, and then like once that's over, then I turn it off. You know, like if I had to watch Armageddon, I would just watch it up to the point where they stop being goofy and then turn it off. Yeah.
So for you, all you need is from the point where they rounded up the team to the point they get on the shuttles.
Basically, yeah.
A 30-minute comedy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's like a Seinfeld. Yeah.
We get a presidential address.
Mm-hmm. We do.
He says that the Bible would call this Armageddon.
Right.
And that 14 brave souls are going to go try to save the planet.
Right. Indeed. And then, this is where I got the problem with that woman that was Chick's ex. Because her kid's sitting there watching the TV, and he's like, Mom, that salesman's on TV. She's like, oh, that's not a salesman, that's your daddy. And I was like, this bitch. Oh, before last night you didn't want him to know, but now you think, oh, okay, well, he's doing something that I'm accepting of, so now I'll allow my child to know their father. Like, that's bullshit to me. But
well, she didn't know he was going to come back either.
No, she didn't. But my opinion is whether or not you condone of like what you're you know, if somebody's a good parent, like as long as they're not putting your child in like a, bless you,
thanks,
as long as they're not like putting the child in like a harmful situation or whatever, like.
But we don't know what situations this dude's
no,
for.
But now all of a sudden, oh, now he's doing something important, so now I'm going to allow my child to like have a, you know, get to know his father and have an understanding thereof and all that. It just hit me the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Like now we can be proud of him. Before he was a scumbag, you know.
Well, maybe he was.
Maybe he was. I'm just saying, like, you know, unless he's.
I think you're being a little harsh on the single mother, Shane.
I guess so. I don't know. To me, it just seemed very like.
We don't know anything about these people's background.
Self-gratifying bullshit.
We know nothing about their past.
No, we don't.
All right, let's move on.
It's
pucker time.
Pucker time.
T-minus 1 minute.
Yeah. I just read because they like prolong this thing.
Yeah, the launch is successful.
There's nothing crazy happens. The only thing I noticed was in the front. I just put the windshield in my notes here because even though there's not really, I guess there's solar wind in space, but that's about it. But if you look at the front of the space shuttle, though, there's like all these strobe lights and shit going. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this?
Well, and fog machines. I noticed that too.
Is there a rave going on outside the shuttle?
I noticed that too because I was so impressed with the effects leading up to that shot.
Yeah.
I was like, this looks good.
Looks pretty good.
It looks way better than Deep Impact.
I mean, what are you going to do, you know?
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
by a long stretch.
Okay, moving on.
But I'm watching it going, damn, I'm about to have a fucking seizure, dude.
They go to link up with that Russian space station that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. Link up just fine. No problem.
Yeah. The Russian cosmonaut that's up there has been alone for 18 months.
Lev. Yeah. He's a little out of it.
Colonel Lev.
Colonel Lev. He has a last name, but I didn't.
He's a big deal in Russia.
Fuck, yeah.
He lets us know that.
Right. So they go through, they decide they're going to pump this fuel.
They don't fuck around either, by the way.
Who, the Russians?
No, anybody.
Oh, they get right on it.
As soon as they land, they're like, all right, time to transfer the fuel.
We got fuel up and get the fuck out of here.
There's no backstory dialogue. No, like...
What have you been up to?
Yeah, so happy to have visitors.
Right,
Nothing like that.
No, he's got a job and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So he...
There's a leak.
Yeah, there's a leak. Well, he sends AJ down to like check the pressure levels while they're pumping the fuel out of this.
You would think that you'd be able to access that gauge at different points in the ship.
Yeah. Or there would be like an alarm or something that would go off.
Yeah.
If the pressure was fucked up. He basically tells him, you know, if the pressure gets too high, he goes, call me on the thing and then pull the cutoff switch, you know.
Right.
And that goes toes up pretty quick.
Yeah. He does the stuff he's told to do.
He does. To his own, you know, fairness, yeah.
But the lever that Lev told him to pull down breaks off in his hand. The intercom system that he's trying to call Lev on's not working.
Well, Lev's not paying attention either. He's talking about his dad and shit and
his
all
uncle.
this other. Oh, his uncle, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's not paying attention. Lever breaks. Typical Russian engineering.
It's all made in Taiwan.
Right. True. And so shit just starts going toes up fast. So far, we've done one thing in this space mission, and it's going shitty fast, you know?
Yep.
The fuel pod winds up catching on fire, and the shuttles have to break away. There's this little scene, doesn't really matter all that much, where like AJ's down like at the bottom of this thing where the fuel pod is at. And he has to like climb out of there, and then like the guys shut the shuttle off, and he has to like basically make his way back to the shuttle after everybody's like basically written him off, and they're all escaping
Through a minus 100 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, this little crawl space
while he's holding his breath
because his lungs will freeze.
Yeah.
Kind of dumb.
Him and Lev both do this together. And basically they get right back to the ship just as they're locking the door, but luckily it's the crew locking it and not one of the astronauts.
Right.
So they open it right back up. Like, get in here, man. Get in here.
Yeah.
Even though they're being yelled at, close the fucking hatch, lock it down, we gotta go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The shuttles break away.
Everybody gets back to the ships, plus Lev.
Yeah.
They pick up Lev. And they got 97% of the fuel transfer.
Yeah, completely successful. Minus the space station blowing up.
Yeah.
Considering pretty well, you know.
I mean, considering that we needed this to happen or the planet dies.
Right.
It went great.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and we got a stupid, pointless action scene out of it. So, yeah.
Right.
Ultimately, the whole thing with Lev probably could have been left out of the movie in like the Russian space station. If they'd have been like, we have all the fuel we need to get there. We're just going to blast off, slingshot around them. Like, it wouldn't have mattered that much.
Nope.
But whatever. Now we're down to 17 hours. And so, is it until we get to the meteor hitting or until we get to the zero barrier?
Till zero barrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put during the lunar roll, whenever they're going around the moon's orbit,
yeah,
there's a little strobe lights again.
And the same fog machine.
Really annoying, yeah.
think it was just they shot all that at once.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
They might have actually intended for it to only be in one part and then just reused it and said fuck it.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's not even like, because they'll use like green stroke, like colors that you would never see in space, you know. I can maybe see a little bit of blue or something like that, you know, but green, like neon, that's dumb. You're stupid.
Yeah, so they slingshot around the moon at 22,500 miles per hour, or about 11 Gs.
Yes. Pretty fast.
Can't imagine.
No, that's rough right there, man.
The crew's all freaking out. There's Rockhound's yelling like, "We're all gonna die!"
Rockhound's already exhibiting signs of having problems, I think.
What do they call it later?
That's a good question. Is it space psychosis?
No.
Space psychosis. Space dementia.
Yeah, space dementia. He's already shown us he's got space dementia.
Yeah.
I really think he just knew that they weren't coming back in his mind.
I think, yeah. Well, he made that. He got that loan.
Yeah, he's pretty convinced,
He
like,
didn't
we're
give a
not
fuck.
coming back.
Right.
But we get to the asteroid. The slingshot around the moon goes pretty uneventfully.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they try to make it an event, it goes pretty smoothly.
Yeah.
And they end up on the tail of the asteroid. Mm-hmm. There's a shit ton of debris.
Oh, yeah. It's just flying off at that thing, man. And it's so bad, in fact, at one point, the Independence gets hit.
Yep.
I actually wrote down the Freedom because I couldn't tell one from the other, but it was the Independence. It winds up just taking like a shitload of debris. All the guys like struggling to put their helmets on and stuff. The one that gets hit, the Independence, that's the one with like AJ and Bear and the Russian cosmonaut. Yeah, Oscar. All those guys are on there. The other ship is doing okay until it comes to landing on the thing.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess it winds up landing like way off course.
It overshoots the landing by 26 miles.
26 miles.
And lands on the equivalent of an iron plate.
Yeah.
We learn this because Rockhound is a fucking genius. Mm-hmm. And he's able to just look at their maps, knows exactly where they are and why they shouldn't be there. And he tells us the reason why he knows this is because he's a genius. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
How do you know this? Because I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other ship has crashed altogether.
Yeah, Independence goes down.
Yeah, it's done. So now there's 8 hours left?
Grace, by the way, can hear everything.
Yeah. Well, she tells him at one point, because she goes into like mission control, and Billy Bob's like, "You don't need to be in here," and she's like, "I ain't got nowhere else to go."
Yeah, but the fact that they just let her walk around mission control,
absolutely,
she can hear everything that's going on.
Right. Why don't you go get you a cup of coffee and stay the fuck out of here? So let's see.
So we got back to Independence, and AJ and Lev survived.
Right.
And Bear's there too. He's okay.
Oscar's dead.
Yeah, Oscar is gone.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Owen Wilson had a really small part.
Yeah. He had, for the most part, he had some really funny stuff going on in here too. I especially like during the psychological evaluation, the Jethro Tull stuff. And,
oh yeah. But he didn't have that much screen time.
No, he didn't. I don't think he was as big at this point as he would be later.
None of these people were as big as they would be later.
I mean, Bruce Willis, yeah. And even, I guess...
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob, he'd been in stuff. He'd already won an Oscar at that point.
And so had Ben Affleck.
Had Ben Affleck won an Oscar?
Yeah, for...
Shakespeare in Love?
No, Good Will Hunting.
Oh, did he? Okay.
I think as a
That's
writer.
a pretty good movie.
As a writer, though.
Oh, okay. But, so, I mean, he had been around, but he would attain larger fame later, and then kind of a dip down, and then come back again.
I just realized I say things like I just know them to be fact when I'm not sure.
Just making shit up. What a dick.
I don't know. If you're at home listening, instead of just cussing at me, going like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, just put it on Facebook comment.
That's fine.
Yeah, just say like, you're retarded.
Right.
That's not right.
This dude's an idiot. So there's iron everywhere underneath the surface of this thing. They start drilling, cheese up the first bit, like 10 feet down.
Good.
Yeah. And so we cut back. AJ decides he's going to use the armadillo because there's a little ping on his little radar, I guess. The armadillo is like this giant drilling lunar traveling machine that they have where they can drive around.
They attached that drill bit that we saw earlier in the movie to it.
Yeah.
So it's like their drilling rig. And it's also like this cool, like, 8-wheeled tank thing.
Yeah. It's pretty big, pretty bulky.
It's got a gun turret.
Yeah.
Why?
That's a good fucking question right there. I actually wrote that down. Machine gun on the Armadillo? Were they planning on seeing aliens up here or what, dude?
For real.
It's pretty weak.
Why?
I have no idea. We run into that same problem later, too.
That's one thing on this fucking movie where I'm like, what the fuck?
Seriously? Is this the Batmobile? Are you an idiot?
But it's a good thing they had it.
I guess.
Because he uses it to shoot through the side of the aluminum can of a space shuttle.
Right. No wonder it broke.
Yeah, and then just drive through the wall.
Right. It's like a paper cup, basically.
So just for future reference, the rest of the time I'm going to be talking about this group and the Armadillo. You'll hear me say AJ and the Armadillo. But it also has Bear, also has Lev.
Right. He's just labeling that group, though.
Right.
So they shoot through the shuttle wall. They go through the Freedom has their Armadillo and they're trying to drill, but it winds up blowing its transmission. They're supposed to be like 200 feet deep at this point, according to NASA's like speculation or whatever. But they're like 57 feet down. They got shit done pretty much.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Sharp's Special Air Force Drilling Guide timetable.
Yeah. They have like a little card that like says what it's supposed to look like. Yeah. It blew its transmission. I thought that this was really weird, man. That the shuttle has like this fancy elevator to it.
Yeah, right in the middle of it.
Pretty weak. But like, so the rest of the thing looks like a space shuttle, except we got this goofy looking, it looks like something out of Lost in Space elevator in the middle of this fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway,
they throw in another little loophole or another complication, I'll say, into the movie. When they passed around the Earth's the Moon's orbit, it sent the asteroid into more of a tumble than the flat spin that it was previously on.
Right.
So now they're like having problems with communications.
Yeah.
They're having issues with the remote detonator because of like being able to reach it through satellites and all that stuff.
Right.
It's between the moon and Earth, man. Like there's a lot of satellites out there in that area.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they make it seem like it's almost impossible to get a hold of them now.
Yeah.
And basically because of this tumbling effect, they have 12 minutes before they have to either remote detonate it or not.
Right. They're up against the wall pretty much. And so if they don't take the opportunity, they might not have a chance to remote detonate it. And so they could basically screw themselves. At this point, the president's still not convinced that a detonation on the surface wouldn't destroy the asteroid. And so he's down for it. You know, we'll just go ahead and light it up right now. It doesn't matter to him.
He has zero confidence in the people that are actually manning the rigs. If they're not at the depth that they're supposed to be at, blow it.
That's it, man. So there's this fight that breaks out between Harry and Colonel Sharp.
Yeah, Colonel Sharp sent up a sit rep telling them like how far they're at, that they're not going to make it. They don't have any other choice.
And so he goes through. He basically he's on board with going ahead and like letting them remote detonate this thing, from what I could tell anyway.
100%.
Yeah. He said that later on. He says it's my job to make sure that they remote detonate this thing successfully. You know.
Well, he was there. His job. He was given orders in the event that they weren't able to successfully drill. That they were going to get it out, remote detonate it, and get everybody off the planet
and bounce.
Right.
So the president goes ahead, decides to do the remote detonate. 6 minutes until detonation, and on the ground, Truman's convinced that this isn't going to work at all. So he wants this guy.
Well, there's a timer.
There is, yeah.
On the nuke.
Right.
It starts counting down.
Which is
and
stupid,
Chick is like, what the fuck?
Right.
I don't think you need a visual timer.
I'm sure you could hear it like spinning up or something, and you could realize it's active.
I don't even know if you need any of that, though. Like, you don't have to put anything in there that would give clue to the person operating it that's going off.
No, you don't. Not at all.
It's planned to be remote detonated.
Right.
Even if it goes smoothly on the mission.
It's supposed to go off.
Right.
It's not like a hostage situation.
Right.
Yeah. True that. So Truman decides he's going to grab this dude that he works with, and they're basically going to... He's having him like shut down the uplink to
Yeah.
the thing. So there's a big old fight that basically breaks out where Colonel Sharp says that it's his job to make sure that this thing goes off, and Bruce Willis like winds up. He actually pulls a gun on Bruce Willis at one point, and like Bruce gets the best of him, like knocks the gun out of his hand, has him in this like clamp chokehold type of thing.
Those clamps are for oil rigs.
Are they?
That's what like they guide the poles.
Oh, okay.
With,
I got you. And so basically he convinces him though to go ahead and turn the bomb off in the meantime. Goes ahead and deactivates it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rockhound starts going nuts. I wrote down. Is this where he does the... Oh, this is where he's like riding the nuke. And the guy's like, get off the nuke.
Well, so you said that they deactivate the timer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Yeah.
Now he's yippee-ki-yay in his fucking way.
Right. There's this weird scene where AJ and Bear, or AJ and the Armadillos, you would call it, decide that they're going to jump this canyon.
The Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon on this rock, yeah. And once again, kind of a pointless, stupid action scene.
Well, Lev comes up with the idea that if they deactivate the thrusters just as they hit the jump, that they'll be able to float across the canyon, reactivate the thrusters, and land softly.
Yes.
Doesn't go as planned.
Does not. Hit a rock, basically knocks him out.
Well, the launch works.
Yeah, it does. It's going good for a while.
Yeah.
And until they hit this rock, and then it like winds up knocking them like out of the atmosphere. If you can, at the gravitational pull of this asteroid.
They're a mile off the surface.
Yeah.
Is what AJ says.
Oh, okay.
And then Lev decides that he's going to take a walk outside.
Yeah. Like try to get this thruster working again. Yeah.
Oh god, this drives me crazy. This scene in particular really, because everything else I'm like, okay. But this one scene, it drives me nuts because Lev goes on this wild ride.
Yeah.
Outside of the armadillo.
Yeah.
Where he's spraying like antifreeze on the component that he thinks is controlling the thruster unit.
Right.
He's doing all this different shit, and he's just yelling like, hit the thrusters!
Yeah.
And AJ's like, they're not working! And he like flies all over the armadillo because they keep hitting more rocks.
Right.
The rocks that took out the space shuttle.
Yeah.
Armadillo's fine.
Oh, yeah.
He gets thrown onto the windshield. He's like looking at them through the windshield. Yelling out, hit the thrusters.
Really dumb, yeah.
He ends up falling and grabbing a winch cable, which is under the belly of the armadillo. So he's under the armadillo.
Right.
Still screaming out, hit the thrusters.
Right.
So AJ finally gets the thrusters to work. The armadillo comes crashing down on top of Lev.
On top of Lev.
He's fine.
Yeah. Good to go. I think that he gets like thrown back a little bit, but he's no worse for the wear at all. So
successful jump.
It's a stupid scene. Once again, it's a scene where had it been completely omitted from the movie, it wouldn't have made any difference.
My least favorite part of this movie is anything involving AJ and the armadillo.
Oh, really?
The gun inside the spaceship, the jump across the Grand Canyon, and then what we're going to talk about here in a few.
Okay.
Is the stuff that I like least about this movie.
I got you. So this is where Rockhound starts shooting the machine gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's losing his shit.
He finds this thing, and it looks like this like remote targeted deal, where like basically you have like this harness that goes over you, whatever, and like whenever you move and like point at something, the machine gun moves too. Why is that there? Once again, pointless. Yeah. You're on a drilling mission, not a war zone, but
it looks pretty badass.
It is. It does look badass. They accuse him of having space dementia at this point because he's just shooting shit. So
Harry gets him under control.
He does, and then it's not too long after that that Max is in the armadillo. He gets blown out into space altogether.
Well, earthquake.
Yeah.
We're not on Earth.
No.
Can't be earthquake.
Meteor quake.
Yeah. Asteroid quake. Something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's shaking.
But there's this planet or this asteroid is like blowing up.
Yeah.
There's pieces flying at them.
Yeah.
And Sharp makes the comment that it knows we're here.
Right.
So
it knows we're here to kill it.
Yeah. Now it's sentient.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And it keeps that theme going throughout the movie.
It kind of does throughout the rest of this thing.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, it's pissed off now, you know, and shit like that. Yeah.
It's a fucking rock.
Right. Just bad luck, man. That's it. So then...
But yes, the armadillo containing Max is blown into outer space.
Right. And then basically at that point, they send word back to Earth. They're like, dude, we're fucked.
Prepare the world for bad news.
Right. And so you hear, I think it's a news report, and they're like, well, it wasn't a success. Big fucking fail. Yeah.
Fail!
Right. And so,
people all over the world start taking cover.
Yeah.
Some decide just to embrace their family members. I'm not gonna lie, man, like, if I knew I had like 3 hours, I think is what the news coverage said, till impact, I'm just gonna get with the ones I love.
Just try to do what you can with them, you know.
Let's say like this happened today, okay, and the news told us we have 3 hours to love. I would put my daughter on my lap, and I would tell her about all the times she made me laugh,
right,
or like just how much I love her and her mom, and you know how I wouldn't change a thing.
Right, maybe read a book or something.
Let's watch her favorite movie.
Yeah.
Let her eat her favorite meal.
Right.
Let her eat a whole gallon of fucking ice cream. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's fine.
At that point, it's whatever.
Make the last couple hours the best you can, you know.
Maybe take a knee, get a little prayer off.
Yeah.
You know, we're yours now, buddy.
Right, yeah. If you're out there, I mean, if you don't want to scoop up this asteroid, you know. Well. So, what is it?
Paris gets nuked.
Yeah, Paris gets butt fucked. Like, bad.
It's right on the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. It catches it. We see a little gargoyle sitting there, like, staring at it. Yeah.
I noticed that this asteroid has this meteor field or whatever that we're going through. It's got incredible accuracy.
Oh, it does.
It hits all the major landmarks.
Right. Yeah, some big time stuff there, yeah. So right after that, AJ arrives on the Armadillo. And they're super happy about it.
Yep.
I thought it was weird too. In this, there's a shot whenever people are like preparing for the Armageddon, if you will, where they showed like New York City and like all the streets, there's nothing. It looks like a ghost town. I'm like, bullshit. The world's ending in 3 hours and nobody is around in New York City.
And you're in like one of the craziest cities in the world.
Yeah, it's naturally insane.
Yeah.
You know, now it's super quiet.
Ghost town.
Yeah.
Grace is super pissed, by the way. Because Truman's, he's like, all right, tell him to get the fuck out of there.
Oh, yeah.
And she tackles Truman. And says they're only up there because of you.
Right.
Fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then dun 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 dun. AJ and the Armadillo save the day.
Yeah, exactly. AJ and the Armadillo.
Rock Hound's taped up. Like literally taped to a chair inside of the chair. Freedom.
I was just joking around about all that other shit, guys. Let me go. Yeah. They have to dig 250 feet with AJ's Armadillo in 1 hour to get through. So there's this one stupid scene where it's kind of it harkens back to before whenever AJ is convinced that, what is it? Harry's convinced that he's gonna like blow the Armadillo. He's like, "You're on your last transmission," and he's like, "I'm not. I can push through this." He's like, "Your call." And so he pushes through. They hit the 802 feet, basically.
Well, they're doing the countdown. They're hitting another gas pocket.
Another countdown. Another gas pocket.
Yeah. Harry's telling AJ, "This is how we lost Max."
Right.
And I can push through. Just trust me.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, this is why the Armadillo stuff with AJ drives me nuts. Okay, I will not discredit his drilling ability on the planet Earth.
Okay.
In deep sea ocean for oil.
Okay.
Maybe he's an expert at that.
Could be awesome.
He spent his whole life doing it. Sure, but he's on that. Yeah, AJ.
He's worked with Harry for 5 years. I guess he could have been doing it before.
He said he grew up doing it.
Well, and his dad did it too.
Yeah. So he grew up with
Fair
it.
enough.
So I'm not going to discount his expertise in that arena. But you're on an Armadillo that's never been used.
Right.
Using an oil rig or drilling rig that's never been used. On an asteroid which no one's ever drilled into.
Right. Into metal they can't identify.
Yeah. You're doing something that's never been done.
Right.
You can't be an expert on this.
There's way too many components.
So you're really fucking confident.
Right? No, I got this. No, you don't.
And then the guy who's been doing it like 3 times longer than you says, you know what? Go for it, kid.
Right. Probably not a good idea.
No, I would at that point, like, if because they were like at 775 and all that shit was going on, I'd have been like, it's good enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm... 25 feet, who cares, you know?
Apparently they were shooting for this magical, like, fault line. They kept saying the fault line.
Right.
And it must have been the line that perfectly split the thing in half.
Well, when they hit, like, 795, all right, go ahead and pull out, dude. We're good. Send the nuke down there. We're going to launch this bitch, you know?
No, they get to 802 feet.
Right. So, yeah, AJ has to go down to the hole. I guess there's a pipe that was bent down there.
Yep.
He has to cut through that bitch so they can send the nuke down. And then some more space debris starts falling.
Yeah, I said the asteroid starts belching.
Yeah. It does indeed. It does indeed.
It blows AJ out of the hole.
Right.
Just like Deep Impact.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference is he's tethered.
Yeah. Yeah, with Deep Impact,
the guy just got launched into fucking space.
I want to say that went worse, yeah. Well, so here, what happens is, I guess AJ has a tether on him, but it's not tied to anything. And so, the last second, Harry has to, like, grab the tether and, like, forget. That's stupid.
Yeah. It rolls out, like, 200 feet.
Yeah.
Before Harry grabs it.
Right. He's lucky that what didn't happen was Harry, like, grabbed it. But he was getting launched out, yeah. So, like, they just both, like, went end over end out into space, you know? So, I put Gruber dies.
Yeah, Gruber's killed.
Yeah.
They called him Sergeant throughout the film. Colonel Sharp would be like, stand down, Sergeant. You know, they addressed him as Sergeant. Which is weird to me because there's no enlisted members in the NASA program.
No, absolutely not.
There might be like some maintenance guys and stuff, but no one manning the ships are enlisted members.
If you're maintenance, or if you're enlisted, they're not even going to let you, like, fly a jet.
No, you're not flying a jet.
Fly a space shuttle.
No,
you're not flying that up, yeah.
They said he was up there to handle the nuclear thing, I think.
That sounds like a job for officer.
We do have enlisted members that handle nuclear stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that they're the experts, though, necessarily.
Yeah. But Gruber's dead, so it doesn't matter what his rank was.
We find out that the remote detonator on the nuke is damaged.
Done.
Yep.
It says error.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's one thing that I think kind of annoys me about this movie is that every conceivable thing that could go wrong just gets fucked up in this movie, man. Yeah. You know, AJ and the Armadillo, they hit a canyon, man, and they're like, fuck, how are we going to get across this thing, you know?
We're going to fly.
So they fly across this thing. Oh, man, they hit a rock. Now they're flying out into space. Now what are we going to do? Oh, let's hit the thruster. Oh, man, now the thrusters don't work. Now what are we going to do? Like, are you kidding me? Give me a fucking break with this. Oh, man, we drilled down 10 feet and it already screwed up our bit. You know, now what are we going to do? Oh, well, let's put on another one. Oh, man, we dug down like another 40 feet and we blew a transmission. Like, now the whole armadillo's gone. Like, are you kidding me with this shit, you know?
Well, just the fuel stop.
Right. It's like, obnoxiously bad, dude.
I felt the pressure.
I felt annoyed. So. But,
so they decide that they're going to have to draw straws.
They're going to have to set it off manually, yeah. And they're deciding who has to do it. Of course, at first, Harry's like, I'll do it. But they draw straws eventually. AJ draws short straw.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us what happens next?
So, AJ mans the fuck up. You know, he draws the short straw. After they all kind of argued over who's going to get to do it, because they all want to be heroes.
Right.
Here's the thing, man.
I just think they don't want to see their buddies die either.
Well, Rockhound was like begging to do it.
Yeah.
I would let Rockhound do it.
Yeah. He's only stood in the way, really.
I think he would have yelled out like, woohoo! And pushed the button.
And if he survives, he's got this loan to pay off. He's already, like, planned to die, you know?
I would let him do it, man.
Yeah.
Let that creeper go out.
You bet.
But anyways, he's still taped up in the chair.
Right.
He's begging to do it, but he's still taped in the chair. They draw straws. AJ got the short straw. He mans up. He's like, hey, I got a job to do. Let's do it. Harry's like, okay, I'll take him down. And so the two non-astronauts decide that they're going to go down without an astronaut. They go down your favorite elevator. And just as they get to the bottom of the elevator, AJ tells Harry, like, just tell tell Gracie that I'll always be here, or be there for her, or be there or something.
Right.
And Harry doesn't say anything and just rips the oxygen hose, which comes off really easy.
Yeah, it does. I wouldn't want to like get that snagged on like a doorway or something.
Yeah. He just rips it off.
Yeah.
Rips off his space patch and sticks it in his suit. Says, make sure that gets back to Truman, because Truman had mentioned that he wished he had.
Yeah, he's wearing like a
mission patch.
Yeah, I think he was wearing like a boot or something on his leg.
Yeah, he's got the
like scoliosis or something.
Forest.
Yeah.
He's got the forest.
He got his spine shaped like a question mark. Yeah.
So then he throws him back in the elevator, closes the door, and AJ cries like a little girl, talking about how much he loves him.
Right.
And that
like, I always thought of you as a son.
Yeah,
I love you, son.
I'd be honored for you to marry my daughter, son.
What? I don't know at what point his mind changed with that.
The drilling.
He was drilling his daughter.
I see what you did there.
Heyo, yeah.
But anyway, so Harry decides he's gonna do it, and the rest of the crew's like, that stubborn son of a bitch. That
would be weird to me, to be the guy that survived, and then they're like, oh, that stubborn motherfucker. Hey, I wanted you to die, not him, you know? Well, this became awkward. I was all geared up for you to go, but whatever.
And he tells him to go take care of his little girl.
He does. So it's T-minus 3 minutes. Harry gives Grace a call and basically tells her that, you know, I had to break my promise.
That's why you don't make that promise.
Right, exactly. And so she goes into this whole thing.
I can promise you that I'm going to go to the grocery store as fast as I can and I'll be back. I cannot promise you that I'm going to go to some death-defying situation and guarantee you I'll make it back.
I can't even promise I'm going to go to the grocery store, dude. I promise you that I'll probably lay on the couch after breakfast and then get up about noon to go eat lunch, but that's about it.
Man, you had a pretty awesome life.
Right? She says to Harry, everything good I have inside of me is because of you. And so I was automatically thinking, AJ's dick?
Oh, God. We had to get it in this episode. Right? You couldn't let it go this episode. You had to get creepy on me.
That's great.
Jesus.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
Hilarious.
So
I gotta give you that one. That was funny.
I thought it was funny as shit when I was watching it. But
Shuttle won't start.
Shuttle, once again, anything bad that can go wrong will go wrong. Shuttle won't start, and so Lev goes back there and just starts beating the shit out of it.
Well, first he assaults the female captain that's like down there trying to fix it.
Right.
It's like, get the fuck out of the way.
He says, if you don't move, I'll have to move you. Yeah.
And that's where he makes the like Russian components, USA components, it doesn't matter, all made in Taiwan.
Yeah. Pretty good line.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he goes through and like starts just beating the shit out of the shuttle. Starts up.
This is how we fix Russian space shuttle. The space station didn't work very well, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Your techniques are not very good. There was a leak.
Right, he went to the Marty McFly School of Mechanics or whatever.
Yeah.
So then
1 minute to zero barrier.
Yeah. Harry gets blown into the hole once again. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And so he like climbs back up out of the hole at the last minute, grabs a little detonator with like 2 seconds to spare. Before they hit the whatever that's called, the zero barrier.
Yeah.
And then it's down to
He nukes it. And then there's this really cool, like, quick flash of a scene where they like go into the iris of Gracie's eye, like zoom into the eyes, and then you see like childhood memories.
Yeah.
It's almost like she could sense like her dad just left.
Yeah.
And she saw these like moments with her dad real quick.
Like on the swing and stuff.
Yeah, real quick. They don't make a big long drawn out thing about it. It's just real fast.
She's a Jedi or something stupid. Yeah.
And then you get out. But I kind of like that effect.
It wasn't bad.
The asteroid splits perfectly in half.
Which is stupid. If we're going 800 feet down, there should be like an 800-foot size piece here and a big motherfucker right here, you know, like headed right toward the Earth. But whatever.
Splits right in half.
Yeah. And so the Earth celebrates. I thought it was really weird. Like it shows kids like pulling other kids in wagons and is that how you celebrate? Whatever, man.
I run through the streets with my space shuttle in front of the Kennedy poster.
Right. There's like a picture of like JFK.
Yeah.
Whatever. This shit's getting weird, dude. So yeah, they land. The Earth celebrates. Chick's son is there to come see him.
Yeah.
And like basically, I guess Truman at one point like goes up and like shakes her hand. Liv Tyler's. Was it Sharp?
Sharp's request permission.
Oh yeah.
To shake the hand of the
bravest man he's ever known.
Yeah, to shake the daughter of the bravest man he's ever known.
Yeah. And then her and AJ kiss, and then we get to watch
Molly Mounds.
Molly Mounds. What are you talking about?
That's the name of the stripper.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. What's his name? Went to go see?
Yeah, Steve. When
Rockhound
gets back, the stripper that he saw the night before that he spent all his money on, is waiting for him. She calls him his astronaute, and like tackles him.
Oh shit!
She's like on one of the emergency response vehicles.
Yeah, like a fire truck.
How the fuck did she get on there?
Asking the wrong dude, man.
She had the right assets.
Yeah, she did. She's got it going on.
She looked really smart.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to see I think it's cringeworthy personally over the... Well, so AJ and what's her name? Grace, yeah. And then we get to see this really awkward like video, like a wedding video. And so that's whenever I'm sitting here watching the movie, like, you realize these people don't really exist, right? Like, you know, why are we watching this fake-ass wedding video of completely made-up characters?
Well, them getting married is like a subplot.
Well, yeah, but we can assume, like, say the movie ended with them, like, kissing or whatever, and they didn't show video. You can assume that they got married and lived happily ever after. We don't have to watch a video of these people and their made-up wedding, like...
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be as cool when we listen to I Don't Want to Miss a Thing Again.
I'm cool with just listening to the song. But, yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about Armageddon?
It's fucking awesome.
Wrong.
I love it.
You are fake news, Mike.
I love it. I'm sorry, man. I love it.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's a guilty pleasure. I like it.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think people should be feeling guilty for shit they like, but I think it's stupid.
You should feel guilty as fuck for like a Star Trek 5.
You probably think I should feel guilty for like a Star Trek in general. But
no, there's some good ones.
There are. But I wouldn't even say I don't know. We won't talk about Star Trek 5.
Okay.
But I think this is dumb. And, you know, to me, so there was this guy that I knew back in high school, and we would talk about movies a lot. And he was like...
Is it the same guy that you said there was
no,
this guy
different
back
guy,
in high school?
Actually, this time. This guy was in ceramics with.
A lot of episodes we talked about, you say there was this guy back in high school. I'm beginning to think it's always the same guy.
Well, I only knew one person, so... No, there was a different cat, and it was weird though, man, because I would like talk to this guy, and he's like, one of the things that he found most obnoxious about Armageddon, he says, is that it seemed like every line of dialogue that was written in this movie was written with it in mind to like put it in the trailer to make it try to sound like badass, you know. And so like I was like, yeah, I could kind of see that.
Like when Bruce Willis, after they activate the timer on the bomb,
right?
And Bruce Willis calls Houston and says, "Houston, you do have a problem."
Right? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, no, that's dumb. I'd forgotten he even said that.
And play on Apollo.
So dumb. Yeah. Oh god. No, just like stupid stuff like she knows we're here to kill it and she's pissed off, you know, stupid crap like that, you know, or whatever. But I don't know. I think that this is just some Hollywood jive turkey bullshit, you know.
You know, and sometimes I can see right through it.
Yeah.
The Hollywood jive bullshit, but sometimes I eat it up by the spoonful.
I mean, that's fair. I can see that too. I definitely have those moments, especially when it comes to like, you know, some of this comic book shit. That's basically all that crap is, you know, but I get into some of it, you know, so it is what it is. So that's our opinion on it. What have you been watching this week there, Miguel?
So, starring Billy Bob Thornton, I talked about it last time, Goliath. Yeah. I'm still watching that.
Oh, okay.
Watched the final episode of this season of Westworld.
Ah, was that pretty good?
Yep.
Did it stand up pretty well compared to the first season?
It's a different season.
Yeah. Is it more linear, or is it like all over the place?
It jumps a lot.
Okay.
It jumps a lot through between timelines, so you really have to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else have I watched? I feel like I watched a movie.
We watched Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Brother started.
Oh Lord. Well, let me grab my popcorn.
That's one of my guilt. I don't miss a season of Big Brother or Survivor.
Okay.
A lot of the reality TV I could care less for.
Right.
But maybe it's because I've been watching, like, this is 20th season of Big Brother.
Okay.
They just had the 30th season of Survivor. So maybe the fact that I've been watching them for so long is just part of what I do.
Just a habit.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, yeah.
But, that shows, it seems like it's got some potential to be pretty good this year.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
What about you?
So I kind of went on like this Blu-ray like spending spree last weekend, and I picked up The Sandlot, which is a fantastic.
I watched that recently, actually.
Dude, it's a good one.
It was one of the movies I tried to play for Farrah. Like, you're gonna like it, I promise.
She didn't like it.
She lasted like 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that you gotta be a little bit older to appreciate that. I was thinking maybe like somewhere between the age of like maybe 7 and 10.
Yeah, I'll have to bring it back.
Yeah. But I really like that one. I was telling you earlier that I finally watched The Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I really liked it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. I was telling Mike though that it was directed by old dude that directed like Kick-Ass. He did X-Men First Class and stuff like that. And he's a great filmmaker. And I haven't seen the second Kingsman obviously, but this is one that whenever I watched this one, I was like, I just kind of want to watch Kick-Ass now. I just think that's a great movie.
Kick-Ass. I mean, I like it a lot.
Right.
I know, like, I know a lot of people who didn't care for it.
Really?
Yeah. But I liked it a lot.
I mean, it's really violent and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but I like it. What was the other freaking thing that I watched? Oh, I went through and rewatched 10 Cloverfield Lane. With John Goodman and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I've seen that.
movie.
Yeah.
And then so me and the wife, this is kind of like a tale of two cities right here. So I'm kind of a junkie for Gordon Ramsay. I know that you get into his stuff too, like Iron Chef, is it? Or
Hell's
whatever.
Kitchen.
Is that what you watch?
I watched MasterChef.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I like Hell's Kitchen a lot, but he's got a new one on now that's called To Hell and Back 24 Hours or whatever. Or like, 24 Hours to Hell and Back.
It's like Restaurant Rescue.
Kind of like it, yeah. Kind of like Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah. But he does it all in a day. But on the other hand, though, the complete opposite end of the spectrum, there's this one on Comedy Central that I started watching called Nathan For You. That was recommended by Doug Stanhope. And it's pretty great because there's this guy that he basically doesn't have any sort of business savvy at all, but he goes in and it's kind of like a bar rescue sort of thing where like he'll go and like try to help like this failing business, but he offers some of the stupidest fucking ideas you've ever heard of. These people, like, there's different results, and sometimes it actually does help these people, and then other times it just fails hard, bro. But,
although the concept sounds entertaining,
yeah,
I have to believe that these are fake businesses.
I kind of wanted that too, but I don't know.
How could you go to a business to help them
and like just screw them over?
Yeah, give them complete bullshit.
I don't know, man.
And get their consent to release the video.
The only thing I think of is basically offering it from the angle of like, this is free advertising for you, like. But aside from that, I have no idea how they would, like, the legality of it and all that.
That's like my problem with Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
So I was watching an episode of Impractical Jokers. You watch that ever?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
It's pretty funny. But on one of the episodes, they're on a cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
Right, actually, there was a couple episodes.
Yeah, they do that. I like every year, I think.
That's what fucks with me. So you know what the name of that cruise is? The Impractical Jokers cruise.
So these guys are going to be fucking with you.
Everybody on the ship is in on it.
Right. You can't pretend like you don't know,
But they do.
Right. And that's always what I wonder too, is as big as Impractical Jokers has gotten, like, I could, if I was in New York and I saw those dudes like messing around, hey, you're Joe Gatto, you know, like, I know you from the thing.
Well,
you know?
I even saw that happen on one episode. They were like in a delicatessen or something like that, and this female customer that was in there was like, oh my God, it's Joe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she like runs up or whatever, and he's like, hey, go sit down. He like rushed her off real quick.
Yeah.
So like,
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, with these comedy, like, people don't know that you're comedy shows.
Right.
That can only last so long.
That's what I'm saying. Once it becomes popular, that's kind of the end of it.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
So now you just got to get a bunch of people who are willing to pretend they don't know any better.
Mm-hmm. But then it's a Truman Show thing where it's not genuine. You know?
Right.
So, yeah. But my stupid ass would never realize the difference anyway, so. Anyway, anything that you wanted to add? Do you know what we're watching next week?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't? This one came way out of left field.
I like being surprised.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon 4.
Whoa.
So, yeah, this is completely different.
I never would have guessed that.
I know, me
like
neither.
In a million years.
Yeah, man. It's weird, isn't it? So there's that to look forward to. I actually, if I have time, I was thinking about maybe trying to squeeze in another Lethal Weapon or possibly two to try to like get some sort of continuity for next week. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. So
Do you have to work like crazy hours this week?
yeah, I got some. Well, with the holiday and all that, yeah, it's going to be nuts. But we'll see. Anyway, if you want to get in contact with us, you can do so. Our email address is cheesymovie@yahoo.com. I'll be sure to check it sometime this month. Our YouTube handle, Casino Royale W Cheese. Facebook is Casino Royale with Cheese, all separate words. Twitter, Casino Royale WCH, all one word. Our iTunes, Podbean, wherever you get your podcast from, is Casino Royale W Cheese. Our Instagram, Casino Royale W Cheese. Real creative there. And I think that might be it for me, homie.
All I gotta say is, again, thanks to you for the people who listen every week. If you do enjoy this show and appreciate what we do, we don't have any sponsors. We don't do anything. I'm asking for donations. I'm not doing that. All I'm asking you to do is to like and share, our Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Shane puts up the thumbnails on Instagram. Just share it, like it, hashtag it, whatever you want to do. Just help us spread the word. That's all I'm asking. If you enjoy listening to the show, just help us spread that word. And I couldn't ask for more.
Yeah. We don't have a Patreon.
Nope.
We're not asking you to take money out of your pocket to put in ours
No.
or anything stupid like that,
No, the fact that you guys are listening is awesome to me.
Yeah.
But just get a couple more people out there, listening.
Yeah.
And and the way this show is formatted, you don't have to listen to every episode. None of them are connected.
Do whatever you want.
We might do a couple of jokes from something
Right.
before, but like
Star Trek 5
right
every week.
Yeah. But the title of the episode is the movie that we're doing. So you tell your friends, just look through our iTunes or whatever they get their podcasts, and maybe there's one or two movies in there that they'd be interested in listening to.
Right.
We're going to do our best to keep bringing you a good product every week. And I know it's not the best, but we're getting better. We're getting the hang of it. We're developing it. We're adding things, taking away things, and we're just doing the best that we can. And I appreciate everybody's support.
I'm gonna say mediocre product. I think that good.
So probably a pretty fair assessment.
Yeah. Let's not overstep any sort of whatever.
If you like dudes who are just talking and pretend like they know what the fuck they're talking about, we're for you.
Right. If you want to hear some dudes make some shit up and it sound like it's
fact,
stone cold truth, yeah,
then we're for you.
Right, you're gonna love it. So anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me. Make sure you join us next week for Lethal Weapon 4, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
I'll be back.